Kay, Pat Brack, Sheriff Jeff Price, City Manager Tim Kelty, Fire Chief for the City of Henderson, as well as the Emergency Management for the City, Russell Choate, C-H-O-T-E, right? Yeah. County's Emergency Management Manager Coordinator James Pike, Chief of Police James Pearson for the City of Henderson, Superintendent for Henderson ISD Keith Bowles is here. Also in the room here in the EOC we have representatives from DPS, commissioners' offices, City Public Works, and several agencies as well. So real quickly, I'll give you an idea of the current situation of where we have been and where we are right now. Yesterday evening, a strong storm moved through Rusk County, causing significant damage to central Rusk County and a large portion of the city of Henderson. As soon as the storm had passed, the city and county officials activated the Joint Emergency Operations Center located here at the Sheriff's Department to begin handling response to this local disaster. Since that time, fire crews, Henderson rescue crews, city personnel, Public Works Department, law enforcement officers, utility workers, and others have been working to clear the debris and make sure that everyone is as safe as possible, sometimes going from house to house, checking on people and making sure people are safe. This morning, local officials from several agencies met for a briefing at 8 o'clock today to kind of discuss what's been going on overnight and chart a course for the next several days. Let me say the level of cooperation across the agencies, from school district to city to county, has been outstanding. The cooperation between the organizations has been wonderful. And beyond that, the public has been very cooperative as well. We've had lots of reports of very friendly, cooperative people. Volunteers have been out already overnight cutting up limbs and trying to clear areas as well. So it's been a very positive event in that respect. The damage to the city of Henderson and the central portion of Rusk County has been great, very extensive. However, the good news is we have had, up to this point, no reports of injuries whatsoever. We have had some reports of people being trapped in their homes, not able to get out because trees had fallen on the front porch, back porch, couldn't get out of their homes. But no reports of injuries up until this point, and that's been some very good news. The greatest damage appears to be along a path, at least as far as we're concerned, along a path from FM 13, which is close to the airport on the west side of Henderson, through the central portion of Henderson, both north and south of Main Street, and then out toward State Highway 43, and then up toward the Tatum area. There's kind of a swath of destruction along that area, large limbs, and several residences. I would estimate between dozens and maybe possibly over 100 homes that have been damaged or at least hit by limbs overnight from this storm. Obviously, the damage is extensive, and the response to that is going to take some time to clean up as well. We are not part of the utility departments, but we are told this morning that close to 20,000 customers in the area are without power. Those are customers of both SWEPCO and Rusk County Electric Co-op. Obviously, it's going to be some time before that power is restored. I do not have an estimate on when that will happen. We'll have to talk to SWEPCO or Rusk County Electric for that information. We also had a major gas leak overnight on Alta Vista, that is on the west side of the portion of the city. That was repaired overnight by CenterPoint Energy, or at least capped off, and repairs will be following, I'm sure. CenterPoint will be your point of contact for more information about that. Quickly, just some different information around the area. The city's water department is up and running. We understand that everything is working well. The wastewater management system is up and running as well, so there's no problems with the water system within the city. We do have a report of at least possibly one water company that is having some issues. I don't have any more information about that. We'll have to contact independent water companies for that. The city last night did activate the shelter at the Civic Center. The Henderson Civic Center was opened as a shelter. At one point, we had 19 people that showed up at the shelter. 3 people stayed overnight, and as of this morning, all 3 of those people have gone on home. The shelter will be open again today for anyone who cannot stay in their home due to storm-related damage or medical issues because of storm damage. They are welcome at the shelter, and that is on Highway 64 here in Henderson. It is very important, and city officials, local officials have stressed this over and over today, that city residents, county residents in the affected areas, please stay off the streets as much as possible, and especially after dark tonight, please stay in your homes and do not be out on the streets. It is difficult for law enforcement to tell if someone is out maliciously or if they're out to try to help, so it's just best to be in your home at all times. Having said that, we have not had any reports of criminal activity due to storm damage, anybody out, anything like that. None of that has happened, but it's just better for all accounts, even with power lines still possibly down. People simply stay inside as much as possible, especially at night, stay off the roads in the affected areas. Debris collection. The city and the county is going to be helping with debris collection, of course, on city property, right-of-ways, highways. County and city crews are in the process and have been in the process all night of removing that debris. For local residents, if they want to start chopping up their limbs, sawing their tree limbs down, and they want to place that, for example, in the city, if you're in the city as a resident, you can place that at the side of the road for the next 3 days, and city crews will be trying to come by and pick that debris up and remove it for you. You'll also be able to take it to debris locations, and I'll have those here in just a second if you want to drop that off yourself. But at least for the next 3 days, while there's some extra equipment in the city crews will be picking that up if you want to place that on the roadside in front of your home as you clear that off. In the county, you'll need to chop that up and take it to one of the debris sites. And again, I'll have that here in just a minute. Keith Bowles, superintendent, is here with us this morning as well. School district, of course, canceled in Henderson for today, and the school district has canceled classes for tomorrow as well. So there's no school in Henderson ISD today or tomorrow. At this point, we'll look to resume by Thursday morning. Debris collection sites. 2 sites have been designated so far to collect debris. This is debris from tree limbs and that kind of stuff that you're cutting up. County Road 417D. This is on the west side of Henderson by the airport. Encouraging everybody on the west side of town to take their debris there if you're going to be transporting it yourself. The other side would be FM 1716, State Highway 43. There's Precinct 1, I believe, transfer station there. Precinct 2, transfer station there. You can drop the debris off at that location. It's FM 1716 at State Highway 43 at the transfer station. That's as much information as I have right now. We'll be meeting throughout the day today, and this afternoon we will have another briefing here with the emergency management team about 3 o'clock. And if you have any need additional information for your 5 o'clock broadcast later on tonight, we'll be able to provide that to you sometime. We will not be, at this point, we're not planning to do another press conference, but certainly we'll have some more information and updates. If there's any questions, if you have any questions, we'll be free to take questions, or if you want to ask any of the officials, we can do that now as well. Any questions? You're kidding.
Is there something for the people who are trapped in their homes? What do they need to do? I mean, electricity is down. People,
we don't have any reports of anybody trapped in their homes. The last report that we had was a report in the county earlier this morning of a woman who had been trapped overnight in her home. And finally was able to get attention of somebody driving by and got the word out. We don't have anybody reportedly trapped in their homes at this point. Obviously, if they are, they need to contact emergency, dial 911.
So basically, the people who are able to see the broadcast need to check on their neighbors.
That would be great. You need to do that. Fire crews, volunteer fire crews in the county, as well as local fire crews, have been doing a lot of that. Henderson Rescue Unit as well, going from door to door, kind of checking on people. But yes, if you're in your neighborhood and there's trees down in your neighborhood, please make sure you check and knock on each door in your house, in your neighborhood area, just to make sure everyone is safe, because there may be some folks that are homebound that may not have had a chance to get out yet. Yes. Damage assessment will be starting today as well. Damage assessment consists of going from location to location with a specific form and actually noting what kind of damage, if there's structural damage, if there is simply trees down in the area. That will begin today. Most of that's being done again by volunteer fire departments and Henderson Rescue Unit. Within the city of Henderson, obviously tree limbs is the biggest thing, and there have been some structural damage. Many of you have probably already seen some businesses along Highway or South Main, with some structural damage as well. So that's all going to be assessed today for the next several hours.
Any idea as to timetable where you think y'all make it Henderson back to somewhat normal?
Or at least power.
Power, again, I have no idea on restoration of power. I know the crew's been working throughout the night, and I understand several large portions of the power grid that are down. 20,000 customers is going to take some time to restore. I have no idea on when that will be.
Members of the public who want to help, what can they do?
If members of the public who want to help, we do have. We are trying to work out a system where we can stage people at the Expo Center. That's on FM 13. People who want to who are going to volunteer to help. Of course, that's going to be on an individual basis. So that's probably the best way to do that is to show up at the Expo Center. We'll have someone there. They'll try to coordinate volunteer work.
Donations?
We have made requests. Many of the agencies you see up here have made requests to partnering agencies, both statewide all the way down to local other counties in the area. And so there will be some groups coming from agencies coming from different areas coming into Henderson to help out with certain government work, clearing the roadways, and those kinds of things.
Are there any donations or anything that are needed?
We have not had any requests for donations. Obviously, the Red Cross is manning the shelter. They have obviously brought their own food and those kind of things with them, but we have not been made aware of any needs for that are gone unmet at this point. So we don't have a request for any donations to fill any needs because there's no needs yet.
Do we know if any school buses or public vehicles were damaged last night?
No school buses were damaged, and most of our schools are suffering minimal damage.
I think DPS lost one vehicle. Didn't they, Brett? Yes, sir. Tree fell on it.
David just mentioned the desire for people to be on the streets at night. City instituting a curfew at all?
There is no curfew. The city is not going to be, at this point, it's not going to be implementing an official curfew. You might want a volunteer curfew would probably be a better phrase. There's no enforced curfew, no. But we do, please, stay off the streets at night. It just makes it much easier for everyone, and it's much safer. In fact, this morning, and our superintendent can attest to this, the storm came through last night, but not all the trees have stopped falling yet. In fact, he had one that fell on his house mid-morning this morning after everything else had already gone on by. So there's still a potential for trees to fall. There's still a potential for power lines to come down that may have been damaged that just haven't made it to the ground yet. So it's just much safer if everyone stays off the streets, especially at night when it's difficult to see where you're going.
Judge, what's the schedule going to be like for the courthouse and other city offices?
Judge, you want to step up here and say?
As far as reopening the courthouse, we've got to wait until we have power for we can do anything. Hopefully that'll be in the next day or two. But we'll be open as soon as we possibly can.
Any concerns with the bills?
They're on a generator. Or the deal we built. All right.
From a sheriff's perspective, law enforcement, anything you need to add?
Just stay off the street. Stay out of the way. Let the crews get out there and do their jobs.
As you said, we're still having some stuff coming down. We've got a lot of power poles that are broken that have not fallen yet, and we're concerned about the lines.
Any other questions? Any other concerns you guys want to address? Anything in particular?
I'd just like to say we are a blessed community to have David Chanel as our representative, and how we all work together, the county, the city, or anybody, all of our department heads. And but thank you all so much for being so understanding with us.
Let me add one more thing too. I called this morning from Bill Stout, and he is sending dump trucks over here to help us with moving debris. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, and I'm sure we all.
Any other questions? If any of you don't have my cell phone number, feel free to get it from me. I have a card for you. Any other questions, follow up, please feel free to contact me, and I can contact